So, alright. This is the first video in Get Shredded. So, it's going to be like twice a month for guitar, twice a month for weightlifting. Instructional video I'm going to do on YouTube. It's going to be the first video on my channel. Yay! So, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to keep seeing me make myself look like an idiot and not being able to talk on camera. So, yeah. Anyway, today we're going to go over a pretty easy A minor pentatonic tapping lick that you can add into your guitar playing or learn so you can add into your guitar playing and become a better musician. So let's get started. So you're going to need to know your A minor pentatonic, you're going to need to know how to hammer on and pull off, and you're going to need to know how to tap. So if you don't know how to tap, it's pretty easy. Just pick a finger on your right hand. A lot of people use their middle finger or their index finger. I've even seen some guys use their thumb. You know, whatever works for you. Usually the middle finger, the index finger is your best bet. Those are your two strongest fingers, your most, or they have the most dexterity. So they're going to be able to do some of the more challenging stuff easier as opposed to like your pinky, which is pretty much useless. So anyway, your A minor, as most of you should know, and if you don't, you're going to learn. So it's just A, C, D, E, G, and then back to A. So 5 notes. So penta, get it? Okay. So A, C, D, E, G, back to A. So that's just starting on your low string. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be focusing on the high string. Fortunately, the positioning isn't a whole lot different. So fret-wise, we're just going to be rooted at the 5th fret for pretty much everything. So your first finger is not going to leave the 5th fret of your guitar for anything, really. We're not going to quite do a bar because we don't want all those extra notes kind of ringing out. In the context of what we're doing, it doesn't sound great. So you definitely can use it if that's your thing, but I like clean playing. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to play really badly and, you know, completely contradict myself because it's the internet. So anyway, tapping wise, all you're going to be doing is going to be hitting the 12th fret on your high E, high B, or your B string, and then your G string. Not that one. So your right hand, it's going to be doing the same positioning more or less throughout. So on the E and B strings, you're just going to be sitting on the 8th and 5th frets, and then on the G string, you're going to be sitting on the 7th and 5th frets. So the basic shape we're going to be looking at is this. Right? So already we're using a note that's not in the A minor pentatonic, which is this B note at the 12th fret. It really doesn't matter. It's not going to sound bad if you're playing against an A minor or anything else in the key of A minor or E minor, G major, C major. You might be able to get away with it in D major depending on what chord's going on in the background. You kind of change the mode a little bit because that C is technically not in that scale. But anyway, it's really easy, honestly. Once you kind of get the basic concept down, you're just going to be flying across the fretboard and you're just going to be like, what the... Anyway, so that's the whole point of this. I want to give you guys something that is somewhat easily digestible, something you can learn, and something you can incorporate into your playing right off the bat. I am not a master guitar player. I am not a master fitness instructor by any means. This is definitely for those middle of the road kind of people, or you know, even novice people that want to take their game up just to that next level, you know. So anyway, so like I said before, we're just going to be tapping on the 12th fret, pulling off to 8 and 5, 12, 8, 5, 12, 7, 5, and then going back up. So it's in a triple pattern, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 notes per string. Easy, right? Easy concept. So the best way to practice tapping, in my opinion, especially for a lick like this where you're going back and forth between multiple strings, is just practicing on 1, making sure that sounds nice and clean. You're not getting any like extra bleed through from any of the other strings or anything like that, right? You just hear these 3 notes that I'm tapping over and over and over again. And then you can move on to the next string and kind of do the same thing. And then the next string. You get the idea. So doing that is really going to help you, and then practicing between the two. So okay, so it's a pretty straightforward concept. If you have any more questions or anything like that, be sure to comment or just shoot me an email. It's shredzilla.mail@gmail.com. I'll link that in the description and everything like that too. So anyway, there we go. What we want to do is get you playing this lick, right? So, like I said before, tap on the 12, pull off to 8, pull off to 5. Okay? 12, 8, 5, 12, 7, 5. And then we just go back up. And then we just start over. So it's in a pattern of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, anyway, got carried away. So you can incorporate little stuff like that in there too. And then you can transition this into like 16th notes if you want an extra challenge by doing that same pattern. But now you're going to take your pinky and just hammer on from nowhere onto that G or onto that G note, 8th fret of the B string, and then tap, and then hammer on from nowhere onto the 7th, and then you would hammer on again to the 8th, like that. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So I prefer that. I think it gives it a much nicer cascading sound, you know, as opposed to just like the straight triplet feel. Right. So it just kind of ties in the previous lick with the new lick and so on. I personally like that kind of stuff. If you don't, that's fine. If you just want to practice the triplet stuff, that's fine too. So the thing I like about this is that if you know your pentatonic scale, tapping is really, really, really easy to do, and it's really easy to make it sound cool. So I can keep my fingers in the same exact position and just move where my right hand is going and produce a completely different sound. So if I just move up the scale, for example, so we're going to keep, we'll just stay on E for right now, right? So instead of doing like this big stretch like you'll see some people do, where you're going to the D on the 10, to the C on the 8, to that A on the 5th, just tap it, right? So we're at tapping on 10 right now. I'm going to move to 12, 13, 15, 17, 20, 22, right? So you get like this nice variety of sounds through it, and you kind of have, it almost acts as like a pedal tone where you're going back and forth from one note. You see that a lot in like classical music, like Bach is a really good example of that. Oops, something like that, where that G is that pedal tone in there. So anyway, learn your A minor pentatonic, learn it all over the fretboard, and then start tapping with it. Just keep your right hand positioned in the same spot, and you don't even have to do it in the scale, just do it chromatically. You're gonna get some really cool sound doing that. Right? And then you can just move it up and down there. Cool. Well, guys, I hope you like that. Again, like, subscribe, comment, any tips, suggestions, or anything like that. And next week we're going to do a fitness video, so get ready for that. Ooh. Yeah. Bye.